Ignore every single piece of advice that you've gotten from somebody to pick your major and your career path at the ripe age of 18. I'm a big advocate for this, and I do not think anyone should be picking any sort of industry or any sort of career path when they don't know what is out there. If you're entering college or currently in college, there's one piece of advice that I got that completely literally rewired how I thought about everything. To give you guys like an example, or the best piece of advice was be like a sponge. And let me explain what that means. When a sponge is placed in a body of water, what does it do? It just soaks it all up. And right now, your brain is kind of like that sponge. You're entering college, or you're currently in college, and there's a bunch of opportunities. There's a bunch of new classes. There's a bunch of things that are coming at you. And if you're so focused on one set path, you're completely missing all the important things. And you don't know what you don't know. Maybe the path that you originally had planned isn't what you would like in the end. And I've seen this constantly where people graduate with majors or degrees and career paths that they do not like. And that's something that I want everyone to avoid. I always told myself and others, if you can wake up Monday morning and you're stressed about work and you're excited to go to work even though you're stressed, then that's the career path for you. But right now in college, your whole priority should be to be a sponge and learn and try as many different things. And I'll just say this from my personal experience. I entered college as a freshman with I ended up choosing a public health major, and I was going to switch it to chemistry so I can be a chemist. But I quickly learned after taking a couple classes my first semester that I don't really want to do anything in the medical field. It's just what everyone around me was doing, all my friends, and I just naturally went that path. And I started to reflect. I'm like, okay, if I don't want to do medical pathway, what else do I like to do? And I've always had this thing where I wanted to do business. I started a scrunchy business in high school, and I've always liked doing business. So I'm like, okay, let's explore the business route. So I got involved in all the clubs, the programs, every single thing, and I told myself I don't know what I want to do in business. I just know it's business. So I entered for so many companies. I interned for a total of 6 different companies with different positions all in one, from marketing to PR to accounting to finance to event planning, literally everything. And I quickly realized because of all the options that I had and all the experience that I had, I realized what I did and I didn't like. And that's because I didn't limit myself. So I tell this to everybody, please do not limit yourself. That's the worst thing you could do for you, especially as a college student. Your whole point in college is to figure out what you want to do, not to come in with like a set pathway. And if you do, and if you're confident in that, great. But don't let things don't exclude things just because you don't think you would like them. Again, you don't know what you don't know. Anyway, so then that's how I found out I wanted to do business. And I interned for a bunch of companies, held a different positions, and I realized that I do like business. I don't like marketing. I don't like PR. I've always been interested in numbers. I've always been good at numbers. I'm good at math. I'm like, okay, accounting and finance makes the most sense to me. So, but I didn't know this before. So I ended up switching my major from public health to management. And then soon after that, I ended up switching my management major to finance. And now I have a management minor. So I'm majoring in finance and I have a minor in management. But guys, I own a tech company. I know. You're probably very confused as to how the dots connected, but I'll explain it. So I found out that I was good at numbers. I ended up taking finance and I ended up interning for a bunch of startups. And I was like, okay, I actually love the idea of building something. I've always wanted to create an impact, create change. I love tech startups. It's something that I've always liked, even though I didn't know that I liked it. But after experimenting with different businesses and interning so much, I realized I did enjoy it. So after interning for a bunch of startups and businesses, I'm like, okay, time to start my own business. And I ended up majoring in finance just so I can have the finance background of running a business, so I can understand how the numbers work and everything. Just so when I do get investors for my company or just raise money in any way or just business operations, I know what's happening. And I've always been a numbers girl. So I ended up doing finance as my degree, and I started my own tech company, Our Yard. It's called Our Yard, but that's only because I decided not to stay in like a specific path that I set myself. And I pray I literally the one thing I will emphasize is do not create barriers and walls for your own self. In college, the whole point is for you to try everything so you can figure out what you want to do. You don't need to have a set path, a set major. And whoever tells you that, ignore them. Ignore them. People will try to push like this certain, and like keep in mind, like I had a set path, But then I quickly realized like I don't know what's out there, and college has so many opportunities. I tried everything. Like guys, I got involved in so many clubs, so many programs, business competitions, business conferences, literally everything. And that's how I learned what I wanted to do. And it wasn't until like uh last year, junior year, where I fully decided I'm going to do tech startups because it's what I like. And I just and that's what I want to do. But that being said, just because you enter college and you don't have a set path, it does not mean that you can just like dilly dally. Don't dilly dally. Your whole point is to join all these clubs, all these programs, and work to figure out what you want to do. So, if there's like one thing that I would tell any college student, whether you're a freshman, incoming freshman, or even high school, or you're a current college student, don't set up limitations for yourself. Be a sponge. Your brain right now there's no water in it, and you're trying to soak up everything. When you get to college, you're going to be hit with a bunch of information, and your entire job is just to soak it in. Just soak it in and start filtering. Once you start gaining the experience, start filtering through everything. And again, the only reason why I realized why I really want to do startups is because I interned for like two startups and I interned for two corporate companies. The two startups were doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. But the corporate companies were Acadia Pharmaceuticals and Qualcomm. And I quickly realized after I interned um, for all those companies that I didn't like the corporate structure. It just wasn't for me. And I've always wanted to build my own business. I believe, like, this is just something personally, I really wanted to create impact in the world. And I think the best way to create impact is by creating something that can help benefit other people. But I wouldn't have realized that if I didn't spend those times interning at those corporate companies and realizing like it just wasn't for me. It's definitely, it's if it's for you, perfect. That's what you do like, go ahead and do it. But if you don't try it out, or if you don't try different things, you just wouldn't know. And like people say to me, they're like, "Oh, I'm graduating with a CS degree, but I don't like it." Okay, then I feel bad for those people because now you have a degree that you probably spent thousands of dollars on, so much time on it too, and you don't want to do it. And I've seen so many people like that, and it generally breaks my heart because they were people like when you're growing up, adults will always try to tell you to go like you have to decide now, 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 now. No, don't listen to them. This is your life. You don't need to have all the answers. I didn't have all the answers. It's okay to not have all the answers. That's a part of life. That's a part of college. And college is the best place to try everything at once and fail because you're in this protected circle where like nothing can happen. It's the best place to be to try everything at once. Obviously, don't spread yourself too thin, but it's the best place to be to literally experiment with your own life. Think of your life as one huge experiment. And you're trying to figure out what to do and not to do. Like it's just an experiment, and the results will come at the end. But it's fun also. Like I've done some crazy stuff, and I enjoyed it. Like I remember my phone died, but I am back. But as I was saying, college is fun. It's the best time for you to experiment with stuff and fail because you're in this protected circle where it's okay. Like that's the whole point of college, and everyone will be there for you, support you. They have resources, etc. Um, just remember to be a sponge. Do not create a box for yourself when you do not know what's out there. And I always tell you this, you're not normal. I'm not normal. We're not here to be normal. We're here to be doing crazy stuff. So in the moment you want, like the moment you place yourself in limitations, it's just going to be harder for you to climb out of that. And I'm so grateful for myself because I did it. I knew that I wanted to try everything so I could learn everything, and I've had all these crazy experiences because of that that I try to tell as many people as possible. And I literally want you to understand it's okay to not know. That being said, that does not mean to just dilly dally and enjoy college. Well, obviously enjoy college, like party up in college and just like have fun. You need to get to work because this is an entire process. You will not know what you want to do unless you try things and experiment with things. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm so like I was reflecting these last couple of days, and I'm so proud of myself for wanting, for doing everything, for trying so hard. Everyone would ask me like, Sandy, like, why are you doing so much? You're a freshman in college, and I'm like, guys, like, I know that I'm meant to be doing something big in the future. I don't know what it is. God always has a plan for us, but to get to that point, that in order to get to that place where He has prepared for us, we need to work. We need to do something. I cannot just sit down and wait for things to come. I need to work hard and keep pushing and keep moving so when opportunities come my way, I am prepared. And thankfully that's been keeping me going even as post grad comes up. Like, I'm going to continue following that, and I'm going to make sure that I don't place myself in any limitations or create boxes for myself. And I want to make sure you don't either. I keep repeating myself, but I've met so many people who regret picking the major that they did because it was something that someone told them to do or something that they decided at 18 and they didn't explore other options. So please, 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 for your future self, do this for your future self. Be open. Don't be so tunnel visioned on something. Look at everything as a whole and just try as much as you want. Like, even if it's like, for example, business. I didn't know what in business, but I did everything in business. That's what you have to do. So my last thing that I'm going to reiterate is be a sponge. We all need to be sponges. We all need to just soak in information and then make decisions after. You can't create a decision without having any water in your brain. So please be a sponge. Soak up all the information. Do not put limitations on yourself. Do not put yourself in a box, and just genuinely enjoy everything that comes your way, because there's going to be so many opportunities. And that's the best part of college. You get to try all these new things that you originally couldn't. But yeah, make sure you understand that you're not normal, I'm not normal, and we're not meant to be normal in this life, in our life. Our life is one huge experiment that we need to enjoy doing. I'm so thankful for college and all its opportunities because it generally changed my life. And I'm so proud of myself for being open to things that I didn't think would be possible or an option, and I just did it anyway. Good job, Sandy. Good job, Sandy. And now it's up to you. It's up to you guys. You better do your future self a favor and not put yourself in a box. I don't know. I'm trying to sound like very, I don't know, dude. It's my first time going through life, but that's what I learned. Be a sponge.